Welcome, dear viewers, to a world where darkness and mysticism meet in the creepiest forms. Here, in this abandoned corner of the internet, we will delve into the darkest corners of the human imagination. Prepare for awe-inspiring horror, as each of our stories is imbued with sinister secrets that lurk in the darkness of the night. Scary stories that remain beyond your imagination are waiting for you on our channel. Don't forget to turn on the lights, get comfortable, and hold on tight, because now we are going into the world of nightmares. Are you ready for it? Then welcome to our scary story. In the heart of the once thriving city, where cobblestone streets whispered secrets of a bygone era, there lay a hidden darkness. The city had once been a beacon of prosperity and culture, but time had eroded its glory, leaving only fragments of its former splendor. Its name, if ever known, had faded from memory, replaced by a lingering sense of dread that hung in the air. Emily, a young anthropologist with a passion for uncovering the mysteries of the past, had arrived in the city with a sense of unease. She had heard tales of a forgotten curse, an ancient evil that had been buried beneath the city centuries ago. The locals spoke of it in hushed tones, their eyes clouded with fear, but few could trace the origins of the malevolent force that had plagued the city for generations. Dr. Malcolm, a local historian whose family had lived in the city for generations, was one of the few who possessed knowledge of the curse's origins. His extensive research and access to the archives of the city had given him a deeper understanding of the city's dark history. Emily sought him out as soon as she arrived, hoping that his expertise would shed light on the enigma that surrounded the city. Their first meeting was at the city's small, antiquated library, where books filled with cryptic accounts of the past were piled high on the shelves. Dr. Malcolm greeted Emily with a warm smile, his eyes reflecting a profound curiosity that had fueled his lifelong pursuit of knowledge. "Welcome to our humble city, Emily," he said, extending a weathered hand. "I've been expecting you." Emily was struck by the warmth and kindness in his voice. "Thank you, Dr. Malcolm. I've heard so much about the mysteries of this city, and I'm eager to explore its secrets." They settled into a corner of the library, surrounded by dusty tomes and flickering candlelight, as Dr. Malcolm began to unravel the city's dark past. "In the days of old," he began, "this city was a thriving hub of culture and trade. Its name has been lost to time, but it was known for its grand architecture and vibrant festivals. However, beneath the surface of this flourishing civilization, a sinister secret lay hidden." Emily leaned forward, her curiosity piqued. What was it? Dr. Malcolm's eyes darkened as he continued. "Long ago, a powerful demon known as Melkorin roamed these lands. The people of this city, in a desperate bid to protect their home, banded together to seal the demon deep beneath the earth. They used ancient incantations and rituals to lock him away, and in doing so, they unwittingly cursed the city." As he spoke, a shiver ran down Emily's spine. The weight of the city's history and the responsibility of uncovering its secrets began to bear down on her. Dr. Malcolm continued, "The curse was twofold. It brought prosperity to the city for a time, but with a price. Every generation, the demon's malevolence resurfaces, and the city is plunged into darkness, suffering, and chaos. The demon's curse manifests in various forms, and it falls to those who know the truth to combat it." "Is that why the city has fallen into such disrepair?" Emily asked. Dr. Malcolm nodded solemnly. "Yes, with each resurgence of the curse, the city deteriorates further. The demon's power is tied to the city's fate, and only by unraveling its mysteries can we hope to break the cycle." The weight of the knowledge pressed upon Emily. She had come to the city with a sense of academic curiosity, but now she found herself entangled in a centuries-old battle between good and evil. She had the feeling that her life's purpose had taken an unexpected turn. "I want to help," Emily declared, her determination shining through her eyes. Dr. Malcolm smiled, a glimmer of hope in his gaze.
I had a feeling you would. Together we will delve into the city's past, seeking the knowledge and artifacts needed to face the demon and break the curse. But be warned, Emily, for the journey ahead is perilous, and the darkness of Malkoran is not to be underestimated. As the two of them stood in the dimly lit library, their alliance formed in the face of an ancient evil, the city's secrets began to whisper to them, promising answers and horrors yet to be uncovered. Emily and Dr. Malcolm had embarked on a quest to unveil the hidden past and confront the malevolent force that had haunted their city for centuries, unaware of the trials that lay ahead and the chilling truths they would unearth in their pursuit of salvation.
The city's ominous history was not confined to the annals of forgotten archives. It had begun to bleed into the present, weaving a sinister tapestry of inexplicable events that had become an everyday occurrence. Emily and Dr. Malcolm found themselves drawn into a world where reality and the supernatural intertwined, giving life to the ancient curse. As the days turned into weeks, the enigma of the city deepened. Residents whispered of strange sounds that echoed through the night, sounds that defied explanation. The city's once genteel atmosphere had given way to an eerie tension that hung heavy in the air. Emily and Dr. Malcolm had taken it upon themselves to investigate the sudden onslaught of bizarre phenomena. Their makeshift headquarters, a dimly lit room filled with dusty volumes and mystical relics, was a testament to their tireless quest for answers. One evening, Emily pored over a weathered tome filled with incantations and symbols. Dr. Malcolm sat at the desk, studying old manuscripts that hinted at the means to break the demon's curse. The candlelight danced on the walls as the room hummed with their shared determination. "The reports are getting more frequent," Emily said, her brow furrowing. "Strong, shadowy figures have been spotted in the alleys, and there are accounts of people disappearing without a trace." Dr. Malcolm nodded, his expression grave. "These are the telltale signs of the demon's resurgence. It preys on the city's vulnerability and despair. We need to uncover the source of its power." As they spoke, a distant wail pierced the night, followed by the sound of shattering glass. Emily and Dr. Malcolm exchanged a knowing glance and swiftly made their way to the window. Beyond the glass, the city's streets were bathed in a pale, ghostly light. Figures moved in the darkness, their movements unnatural and menacing. Without a word, they descended the creaking staircase and emerged onto the deserted streets. The city, once bustling with life, now seemed like a desolate wasteland. Emily clutched a satchel filled with protective charms and ancient artifacts, while Dr. Malcolm held a staff adorned with symbols of warding. As they ventured deeper into the heart of the city, the malevolent presence grew stronger. The ancient buildings that had once stood as testaments to human ingenuity now bore the scars of their curse, their facades marred by dark stains and foreboding symbols. The city's central square, where grand celebrations had once taken place, was now the epicenter of inexplicable events. It lay cloaked in an eerie silence, broken only by the distant cries of the tormented and the ominous whispers of the wind. They reached the square, and their eyes widened in disbelief. An unsettling apparition materialized before them, a manifestation of the city's dark past. The specter shifted and contorted, its form a grotesque amalgamation of human faces twisted in anguish. It seemed to beckon them, its voiceless wails echoing in their minds. "The taint's soul," Dr. Malcolm whispered, his voice heavy with knowledge. "This is the embodiment of the demon's curse, the source of our city's suffering." Emily and Dr. Malcolm knew they had to confront this abhorrent entity to unravel the mysteries that bound their city in darkness. They stepped closer, the weight of the curse pressing down on them. With determined hearts, they began to recite ancient incantations and brandish their protective artifacts, pushing back the malevolence that threatened to consume them. The taint's soul recoiled, its form contorting in agony as the symbols and incantations repelled its presence. It let out a bone-chilling shriek, its spectral visage dissolving into the night. The city sighed with relief as the curse's hold loosened, if only momentarily. But the battle was far from over. Emily and Dr. Malcolm had tasted the power of the demon, and they knew that it would return with even greater ferocity. "We must delve deeper into the city's history, Emily," Dr. Malcolm said, his voice resolute. "The taint soul is the key to understanding the demon's weaknesses. Only by unlocking its secrets can we hope to break the curse once and for all." As they made their way back to their makeshift headquarters, the city remained shrouded in an unsettling stillness. The ancient curse had revealed its malevolent presence, and Emily and Dr. Malcolm had embarked on a perilous journey, determined to uncover the truth and confront the demon that threatened to consume their city in darkness. The battle against the curse had only just begun, and the fate of the city hung in the balance. The pursuit of answers had become an all-consuming quest for Emily and Dr. Malcolm. The malevolent presence that had plagued their city demanded their relentless attention, and they knew that the only way to free their home from the grip of the ancient demon was to uncover the secrets of its origin. Their exploration led them to the labyrinthine catacombs beneath the city, a place where the dark rituals of the past had been conducted to seal the demon's foul power. With torches in hand and an air of trepidation, they descended into the subterranean depths, each step echoing through the damp, oppressive corridors. As they delved deeper into the catacombs, the walls seemed to close in around them, and the air grew thick with the scent of incense, long extinguished. The symbols etched into the stone walls glowed with an eerie, otherworldly light, illuminating their path with an unsettling brilliance. Emily reached out to trace her fingers over one of the symbols, her mind racing to decipher its meaning. "These symbols," she murmured, "they're a language of power, a code to unlock the demon's secrets." Dr. Malcolm nodded in agreement, his expression resolute. "We need to find the heart of the ritual chamber. That's where we'll discover the true source of the demon's power." The catacombs seemed endless, a maze of twisting passages and ominous chambers, but the city's heartbeat pulsed through the earth beneath their feet, guiding them toward their destiny. Their steps echoed like a drumbeat in the shadows. As they ventured deeper into the catacombs, they stumbled upon an ornate chamber concealed behind a concealed door. The room was adorned with relics and artifacts, the symbols on each one more arcane and enigmatic than the last. It was here that the ancient rituals had been performed, where the demon had been sealed away, and where the answers to their questions lay hidden. Emily and Dr. Malcolm approached the center of the chamber, where an intricate altar stood. Upon it lay a tome bound in leather, its pages filled with incantations and illustrations. Emily carefully opened the book, her fingers trembling as she leafed through its aged pages. The text described the demon, Malcorin, and the ritual used to bind his power. It also hinted at a way to break the curse, but the details were shrouded in cryptic language. Dr. Malcolm examined the room with a discerning eye, his gaze falling on a series of carvings etched into the walls. They depicted the demon's imprisonment and the sacrifices made to bind him. It was a harrowing tableau of suffering and dread. "Look at these symbols," Dr. Malcolm said, his voice barely above a whisper. "They hold the key to the demon's vulnerability. If we can decipher their meaning, we may uncover the ritual to break the curse." Emily's heart pounded as they began the painstaking process of recording the symbols and transcribing the ancient text. Their journey was fraught with danger, and the oppressive weight of the demon's curse loomed over them. As they worked tirelessly to uncover the truth, the catacombs seemed to respond to their presence. The shadows shifted and writhed, taking on sinister forms that whispered malevolent secrets. The air grew thick with a palpable tension, and Emily and Dr. Malcolm could sense the demon's influence growing stronger. But they would not be deterred. The pursuit of knowledge had become a fight for their city's very soul,
and they would not rest until they had unraveled the enigma of the demon's curse. With the symbols and ancient text in hand, Emily and Dr. Malcolm emerged from the catacombs, their determination unwavering. The city above them remained shrouded in darkness, but they now possessed the tools to confront the demon's malevolence. "The time has come, Emily," Dr. Malcolm declared. "We have what we need to break the curse, to defeat Malcorin. But the battle ahead will be perilous, and the demon's power is formidable. Are you ready to face the shadows and save our city?" Emily met his gaze, her resolve unwavering. "I am ready, Dr. Malcolm. Together we will chase the shadows and bring light back to our city. The demon's time is running out." And so, armed with ancient knowledge and bound by a shared mission, Emily and Dr. Malcolm prepared to confront the demon that had haunted their city for centuries. The final battle against the curse was on the horizon, and the fate of their home hung in the balance.
In the depths of the catacombs, where the shadows whispered secrets and the air was thick with dread, Emily and Dr. Malcolm prepared for the ultimate showdown with the ancient demon, Malcorin. Their quest to free their city from the grip of the curse had led them to this ominous place, and now they were ready to face the malevolent entity that had haunted their home for centuries. As they ventured further into the underground labyrinth, the symbols and incantations they had uncovered in the chamber above weighed heavy in their hands. The catacombs seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, an anticipation of the impending battle. The demon's presence grew palpable, and the very walls of the catacombs seemed to shift and writhe in response. The shadows deepened, and a sinister laughter echoed through the corridors, chilling their souls. Finally, they reached a chamber unlike any other, its walls adorned with a profusion of arcane symbols. At its center stood an obsidian altar, shrouded in darkness and foreboding. There, in all his malevolent glory, Malcorin awaited them. His form was a grotesque amalgamation of nightmare and nightmare, with eyes that glowed like fiery embers. "Welcome, mortals," the demon hissed, his voice a cacophony of despair and malice. "You have come to challenge me, to break the curse that binds me. But know this, you stand on the precipice of your own doom." Emily and Dr. Malcolm stepped forward, the symbols and incantations in hand. The chamber's shadows seemed to dance and twist in response, as if acknowledging the gravity of the moment. The time had come to confront the darkness that had plagued their city for so long. With unwavering resolve, they began to recite the incantations, their voices melding into a harmonious chant. The symbols glowed with an ethereal light, creating a barrier that pushed back the encroaching malevolence. The chamber quivered, and Malcorin let out a deafening roar that reverberated through the catacombs. The battle had begun. Malcorin, in a frenzied rage, unleashed his dark powers. Shadows twisted into monstrous forms, lashing out at Emily and Dr. Malcolm with tendrils of inky blackness. They fought valiantly, their protective artifacts and the incantations holding the demon at bay. But the sheer malevolence of their adversary was overwhelming. Emily's determination wavered as the demon's influence bore down on her. She could feel the weight of the city's suffering, the despair of generations, and the specter of death looming over her. But she drew strength from the memory of her city, its people, and the hope of a brighter future. Dr. Malcolm, too, fought with every fiber of his being, his resolve unwavering. He knew that the key to their success lay in the symbols and incantations they had uncovered, and he clung to them like a lifeline in the abyss. The battle raged on, a fierce contest of wills and power. Emily and Dr. Malcolm's courage was tested to the limit as they struggled to maintain the protective barrier and decipher the demon's weaknesses. In a moment of revelation, Emily realized that the symbols they held were not just a means of defense, but a weapon to strike at the heart of the demon's power. With renewed determination, she channeled their energy into a final incantation, one that would unravel the malevolence that bound the demon to their city. The catacombs quaked as the incantation reverberated through the chamber. Malkorin let out a deafening scream, a chorus of torment and fury. His form contorted and fractured, and for a moment, it seemed as though the very essence of the curse was unraveling. With one final desperate effort, Emily and Dr. Malcolm shattered the obsidian altar, the source of the demon's power. Malkorin let out a final anguished howl before dissolving into a maelstrom of shadows, vanquished at last. The catacombs fell silent, and the malevolent energy that had plagued the city for centuries began to dissipate. The curse was broken, and the city's fate hung in the balance. As they emerged from the catacombs, they were met with the first rays of dawn, a symbol of hope and renewal. The city, once shrouded in darkness, now basked in the gentle light of a new day. The people of the city awoke to find the curse lifted, their lives forever changed by the bravery of Emily and Dr. Malcolm. The city's ancient demon was defeated, and the shadows that had plagued their home were banished. As the city began to rebuild and heal, Emily and Dr. Malcolm stood at its heart, the unsung heroes who had faced the darkness and emerged victorious. Their journey had been one of courage, determination, and unwavering resolve, and the city would forever be in their debt. The curse had been broken, the demon vanquished, and the city's future was once again filled with promise and light. The battle with the darkness was won, and the city's soul had been reclaimed.